How's it going, guys? This is episode 7 of the Huddle with Sean and
Demetrius.
coming back to y'all this week to talk to y'all all about high school, college, and professional football. So, you want to get started first with us today?
Sorry guys that I missed out on last week. But the game I went to, I guess, what would that be, 2 weeks ago? I went to Live Oak and Denham Springs. It was a pretty good game. It was close at first. Oh, well, it was close throughout the whole game. But Live Oak, I feel like they executed their game plan I want to say to almost perfection. I feel like they wanted to hold the ball, kill the clock, and to like try to minimize the Denham Springs offense. And I feel like it was almost at every snap. It was like, I want to say like 5 seconds left in the clock, on the play clock. So I feel like they did a really good job in executing that. And then the game I went to this past weekend with St. Amant and Denham Springs, it was a pretty, I don't want to say a sloppy game, but there was a lot of missed opportunities and turnovers by each team. But eventually St. Amant made more plays than Denham Springs, so they was able to come away with the victory. It was Denham Springs had a chance to win the game with a late drive after a missed field goal to, I guess, extend the lead to 10. And it was just crucial drops on the fourth down play. The running back had dropped the ball, and it was just heartbreaking for Denham Springs to go out like that. And then for the diamond in the rough, the article I did was about Cameron Jackson. He was a quarterback at Davis High in Houston. Just watching his film, he's a pretty accurate thrower. He throws a beautiful ball. He kind of reminds you of a Houston Deshaun Watson, and kind of like and kind of like Jaden Daniels on how his pocket presence and how he's able to move around, create plays, and then his ball placement is just, I want to say, probably one of the best. Currently, he's one of the top quarterbacks in passing yards in his district.
And where is it again?
Benjamin Davis High in Houston, Texas.
Gotcha. Well, I also saw a Live Oak game recently, not 2 weeks ago, obviously last week when they played Dutchtown Griffins, and I don't know about 2 weeks ago, but it did not end the same with them losing to the Griffins 30-16. His game was pretty back and forth the whole time. Not a pretty quiet first quarter where no one scored. Into the second quarter, there was a bunch of touchdowns. There was a rushing touchdown by the Griffins, a throwing touchdown by Live Oak, a botched snap which turned into a safety, which put Live Oak up 9-7, and kind of after that, in the second half, going into the half it was 14-9, but in the second half, everything kind of didn't go Live Oak's way with just can't convert on third downs, and Dutchtown came up 2 touchdowns at the end of the game to win 30-16. The diamond in the rough that I did was about Brody Scoggins. He's a 6'2", 205-pound long snapper at Coppell High School. At the moment, he's a junior, and he's ranked 10th in the nation at long snapping for his class at the camp that he went to. He told me a little bit about himself. He wasn't originally a long snapper. He was a tight end, and in 8th grade they needed someone to long snap, and he just gave it a chance. Not 8th grade, freshman year, but he gave it a chance, and then 2 weeks later the varsity long snapper got injured, so they kind of just threw him in there, and he never looked back. He continued it throughout the rest of his college or high school career. The other article I wrote about was about Darius Williams. He's a senior edge rusher and linebacker from Natchez High School in Natchez, Mississippi. He's just kind of a speedster off the line. He uses his speed and quickness to get around people, and having probably his best season at the moment. He's kind of just hoping to get himself well known and hopefully get some offers because he does want to continue his football play to the next level if possible.
And you said he's a edge rusher?
So yeah, he's an edge rusher and linebacker, but he's more of a rushing linebacker. He's not. I mean, he can cover, but he does most of his stuff trying to get to the quarterback or stop the run game.
Seems like a Harold Perkins.
Yeah. He's a quick head, big body man.
I guess speaking of Harold Perkins, it was a great win for LSU against Auburn. I felt like it was a pretty well-rounded game. Our defense stepped up to I wouldn't say their potential, but they stepped up from I guess previous games. Even though Auburn offense isn't that great, but at the same time our defense wasn't as great, hasn't been as great. So I felt like this was a great game for them to get together, recuperate, try to put together a game plan that made them succeed. And then obviously the offense. The offense is going to be the offense with Jane Daniels leading it. I feel like we have the best offense in the country, to be honest.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, when you put up over 45 points in this game, you got to have a good day on offense to score that many touchdowns. I mean, yeah, I agree. Jaden Daniels over 400 yards total, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception, almost 100 yards rushing, 300 passing yards. I mean, can't ask for a better day than that. Pretty spot on.
I think with the way he's playing, I think there really shouldn't be, well, besides the quarterback at Washington, that for to be in the Heisman conversation. I think he should be at least up there, if not 1, but 2.
I'm pretty sure he's top 3 right now. But I mean, obviously, I feel like to win the Heisman, you got to win games, and it's hard. It's hard being the best offense when you have this defense also allowing a lot of points. So, hopefully the teammates will help him out because I truly do think that he could easily win Heisman this year. That's what I was telling my friends before the season started. But obviously a little biased, but glad that it's playing into reality now. But yeah, he definitely should be in the conversation.
I think with him, as of right now, he's leading the league, not league, but he's leading in rushing and passing yards. I think that's really something special. Mm-hmm. Like how many quarterbacks can say they're leading in rushing and passing at the same time?
Obviously, very few. I don't know any off the top of my head, obviously, but what he is doing is impressive. I mean, coming out here and being almost a 100-yard rusher in a game against Auburn, I mean, that's just for a quarterback to do that and also pass 300 yards, it's not something that is common, obviously. And the fact that he is that dual threat where he can do both helps the offense out a ton. And where he's a precision passer, I mean, his completion percentage isn't like horrible either, 20 for 27. I mean, that's pretty good for a normal day for a quarterback. So hopefully he can keep it up throughout the weeks and we can see some more victories.
Hopefully we're able to continue this momentum into the Army game. Mm-hmm. I don't expect nothing less. I expect us to put up at least 50 points. I mean, the way our offense has been playing, I think it's really hard to stop.
100%, I agree. I mean, Neighbor is another fantastic game by him. I mean, I'm pretty sure over 60 yards and a touchdown. And continue to having a pretty good season. I mean, I don't know about this exactly. He's either 1 or 2. Him and Jaden Daniels has the most yards and touchdown or yards together combined for a quarterback wide receiver duo. I'm pretty sure.
I think so. Maybe.
I saw something about that.
we gotta check that, fact check it, so we can make sure for real. For the Army game, I mean, I don't see us losing.
I don't see us losing in there. I mean, obviously a little biased, very confident. I mean, the way that we just played in this last game, I think our momentum's finally getting there, especially on defense, holding under 20 points. I mean, that's a good start. I mean, not a good start. That's just a good game for defense, is to hold a team under 20 points, especially in college. So hopefully we can continue that game plan and continue it for next week.
And then hopefully we continue that for the Army game. Going into the bye, we could continue that momentum into the Bama game. Because I think the Bama game is where that's the main test.
Yeah.
If we could beat Bama, I feel like we could easily make it to the SEC championship.
And we'll get a chance, 100%. And that definitely is going to be a good game. I'm excited for that one. I know everybody else is probably too. Looking forward to it. It's been the game that I circled earlier this season that I wanted to see badly.
I feel like whenever we always play Bama, I feel like that's always a big game for us. No matter if it's away, home, neutral site, it's always going to be a great game.
I mean, yeah, of course. They're just always the team to beat, and we want to be the team to beat them.
Always. And then moving on to the NFL, what did you think about this week?
Well, first thing, if I'm going to be sad, let's talk about your team for a little bit. And, first loss of the season. How do you feel about that?
I mean, as I said I think a couple episodes ago that I wanted us to lose a game. Mm-hmm. I mean, no team. I mean, obviously you want your team to go undefeated throughout the whole season, but if it was a team to lose to, at a moment to lose to, I think this was the right time to lose.
It's PJ Walker?
I mean, but at the same time, it's against the Browns. They have a great defense. I think they got the number one defense. They have historically they have been having the best defense. And then with the weather conditions, with the rain, the cold, I know it's hard playing in Cleveland. I'm pretty sure, and I never even played in Cleveland, so just having them playing in Cleveland and then having to miss one of our starting linebackers, then having McCaffrey and Debo out, I feel like that kind of affected the game plan with them going into the game. And even though it was a hard-fought game, we still had an opportunity to win. It's just the kicker missed a cheap shot, field goal. It was a great game to watch. Don't get me wrong, it was a great game to watch, but I just wish we came out on top. But you win some, you lose some. But this was a great learning opportunity because no season is ever going to go perfect. Yeah, you're obviously going to have obstacles, injuries, losses. So this was a great time to learn from it, and then it was move on to our Monday night game against the Vikings.
Yeah, I will say I think this Browns victory has really shown the league that the Browns are someone not to be messed with this year, and show that they are definitely
as long as their defense keeps up, I feel like.
I mean, doing that with PJ Walker, hopefully your offense will improve more with Deshaun Watson. So it's looking good for them, but obviously they got to hope for no injuries and continue to just play how they're playing. I can't say the same for the Saints though. The Saints, on the other hand, we had a tough loss this week. All around, just our offense is non-existent. I mean, I don't understand the play calling personally. There just seems like there's little things that we should be doing that we're not, and we lost to. I mean, what a lot of people didn't think, a pretty good Houston Texans team.
Yeah, they're surprisingly pretty good.
I mean, that young core does look like they can do damage in the near future. I don't know if this is their year to make the playoffs or anything like that, but definitely what they're putting together right now, it should be an exciting team in the future. The Saints, on the other hand, I'm scared that we're going to implode soon. So, hopefully we can fix it around against the Jags this Thursday. But that's a quick turnaround game, and I don't know about this offense. That's all I got to say. It's there's a lot of really good pieces to it, but we seem like we can't get the chemistry together or just kind of the plays together to get us into the end zone. And I mean, that's better. Our defense, can't say anything bad about them, and they've been playing fantastic this season. But yeah, we got some work to do.
I mean, watching the games, I feel like it's surprising how the offense just it's like not clicking. I mean, y'all have the pieces. Like y'all got. I wouldn't say Derek Carr is a great quarterback, but he's capable of winning. I mean,
I agree with that, yeah.
he kept the Raiders franchise afloat for I don't know how many years he was on the team, but he gave them a chance, even though they didn't have the best of players and the best owners and all the things that goes on over there. But I don't know like what to say about the Saints offense. I mean, it's not like y'all don't have stars. I mean, y'all have star players, so I don't. Maybe it's just a new coordinator that needs to be in place.
Obviously, that's what every New Orleans person is saying right now, new coordinator. And I think, I don't know if they're going to keep him throughout the whole year, but I will say if there was a time to get a new offensive coordinator, it'd be after the Thursday night game, just because you have enough time to kind of implement a new offensive style to your team in that long break that you'll have. But we'll see. I mean, when we were in the red zone, all we did was throw it deep to the end zone, which, we just need a first down. Doesn't need to do that. It seems like once we get to the red zone or near the red zone, we kind of just forget how to play football and can't move the ball and settle for field goals way too much when we should be scoring, moving down the field. But, hopefully they'll figure it out. I want them to figure it out. We're 3-3. We're not too far away from losing we could easily win the division. It's just figuring out the pieces that we need to figure out and excelling in what we can do best.
I feel like the way the Texans are playing, I feel like they have a chance to win their division, because if we're looking at it, they're 3-3. The Colts are 3-3, and they just lost Anthony Richardson for the year.
And the Jags 4-2 right now.
And that's still one loss, and then
that is one loss. When they lose to the Saints on Thursday, that's 4-3. Hopefully, we pray.
Then if y'all win, y'all 4-3, and then y'all on top of the division. Yeah. So it's a lot of.
There's definitely a lot of even matches right now where it can go anybody's ways. Like, I truly think the Bengals can come back from their rocky start and take the division. 2 wins back-to-back. They started off rough last year and they made it to the AFC Championship, so why not again? Joe's looking better every single week with his leg. He's starting to become more mobile. You can tell he's not 100% yet, but definitely better than week 1 and 2 where he couldn't move out of the pocket to save his life. So,
do you think him playing in weeks 1 and 2 affected him, like his healing process?
Yeah, 100%. When you're playing on an injury, it's not going to heal as quickly as you resting and getting all the treatments you need for it. But obviously, he's a competitor. He doesn't want to sit if he doesn't have to. So the doctors probably gave him the okay, and he says, "I'm going to play every single game that I'm able to play." Because he doesn't. He doesn't want to sit there and watch the game from the sideline. He wants to be there with his team. Obviously, was it the best move? Who knows? Those are hypotheticals, but he's going to take it now every game, every week, and try to play better and air that ball out to all of his fantastic receivers.
One game that I'm surprised of the outcome is the Jets and the Eagles game.
Yeah, that was going to come up too, because both undefeated teams took a loss this week, and both to backup quarterbacks. Zach Wilson started last year, obviously, and Aaron Rodgers is the quarterback this year, is out for the season. What also is making a weird, speedy recovery.
I really don't know what to say about that, because he tore his Achilles. I want to say like
6 weeks ago, 4 or 5 weeks ago,
like a little over a month ago, and he's walking around without crutches.
Walking around throwing passes. I don't know what his weird, unique should be the word, approach to the healing process of his Achilles, but I guess it's working. And I don't know, maybe he should start like a TED Talk about it and let doctors know, because it's obviously going pretty fast for him.
Do you think he'll be back by the end of the season?
Oh, I don't know. That's never happened before. That's a wild statement. If the Jets keep on winning, who knows? We'll see. If they have a playoff push, he might push himself and see if he can. As a 38-year-old, there's only so many seasons you have left. So if he has the ability to push himself for the last couple of games, he's going to retire afterwards. Maybe he'll do that. Maybe if not, he wants to play another season, he'll wait and just until next year. But I know he definitely wants to get out in that Jets uniform because, him and his new friend Sauce, they want to have a good couple of games together before he retires. But yeah, I mean, their defense though, I will say they beat the Eagles. Sauce didn't even play.
Yeah, I think both their starting corners are out, and I don't know if that's worse than PJ Walker starting, but hey, I mean, both starting corners are out. You should be able to win, but hey, I mean,
I will say PJ Walker, XFL legend, by the way.
Yeah, he's a dog. I mean, watching the game, I mean, obviously he threw 2 interceptions, but he's a dog. I mean, he's gonna give it his all just because just his story. I mean, coming from the XFL, and then obviously you saw from last season the Panthers game where he threw, I think it was like a 70-yard game winner or something like that.
Oh yeah. I was about to say on the Texans. I mean, not the Texans, the Panthers. He played pretty well for the small stretch that he was playing in when who was injured.
I think.
Whoever the starting quarterback was at the time.
I think they had many. Bless you.
Thank you. Whoop. Okay, we're good. Yeah. Any other games that I was surprised about? Monday Night Football was obviously a good game to watch with Dallas and the Chargers coming down to a field goal at the end of the game to take the lead. I mean the Chargers 2-4, worse record than the Saints right now. Do you think they'll have a chance to bounce back, or do you think what exactly do you think they need to fix? Because it's a rough start to the season for them with everybody giving them high hopes.
I don't think they could bounce back. I don't think me personally. I don't think. I think the Chargers are a bit overrated, in my opinion, because as you can see, they have the pieces.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you just name the top players on their team, you got Joey Bosa, Justin Herbert, Khalil Mack, Austin Eckler, Keenan Allen. Like you got all these pieces, and you're still being subpar. I mean, everybody has high expectations of Chargers, and they just haven't lived up to them. I don't know if that's because of the coaching or
a lot of their losses this year have been close losses. I think like less than 3 points, or 3 points or less. But obviously, like you can say the same about the Vikings last year. A lot of people thought they were overrated because a lot of their games were won by 3 or less. And look at them this year; they're on the verge of not playing Justin Jefferson the rest of the season, and
on the verge of getting Caleb Miller.
Yeah,
what it's looking like.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, hopefully. Actually, I have nothing. I'm not biased to them at all. We'll see if they do better. They can just gotta fix some things, and I mean,
because playing in the same division
you
as
have a tough division.
The Chiefs. I mean,
you have to win games if you want to make the playoffs. Because with the Chiefs, obviously, you're shooting for the wild card spot most years.
Automatically, you're unless something happens to Patrick Mahomes.
You're going for the wild card spot. You're not. You're that man is going to have a great season with the receivers he has, and he's still good.
5-1.
Yeah,
with people who
Darius
would be
Toney and Sky Moore, and who would be probably wide receiver 3s on other teams. But yeah, you gotta definitely have to win games if you're in that division. Any other last words you think about this week? Any future insights? Because now we can wind down.
Be on the lookout for a blowout win on Monday night. Just know we're coming back. We're coming back strong, and I'm expecting us to put up at least 30 points to make up for.
You're not scared of CMC or Debo?
I think we should sit out McCaffrey only because we're gonna need him down the road.
Mm-hmm.
And running backs, I think they get hurt probably more than anybody on the field, if we're being honest. I mean, besides people on defense, the running backs take they take a hit almost every play.
They take hit by linemen. They take hit by big men, not just wide receivers are getting mostly cornerback and safety tackles. Running backs are getting those D linemen, those linebackers. Yeah.
Sometimes they're getting hit by both linebackers and D linemen. So I think him something I think we have to save him from himself because watching the game, you could tell he was hurt, and then he came back in for a play, and they automatically took him out and took him to the locker room. So I think we need to save him because he's a big part. I always knew McCaffrey was a good football player.
Oh, wow.
But
Yeah.
him being on the 49ers, it was like, oh my God, he's I just do not the MVP of the league or something like that.
He was trying for it this year.
So I think we need to sit him because we have other running backs. I mean, Kyle, he's going to scheme up a great game plan for the running backs to succeed. So I'm not scared of the running game falling off because we could run the ball with anybody. I feel like so McCaffrey, he's gonna be missed, but
You'd rather miss 1 week than the whole season.
yeah.
That makes sense. All right, well, I think that's all we have to talk to y'all about today. Obviously, this is Sean and Demetrius, and we're gonna head out and see y'all next week for Huddle episode 8. Y'all have a good week.